Some of you asked me quite a few questions about whether you should go for a 24-volt setup instead of 12 volts. You're wondering if you'll be able to find compatible devices. Do you save money by switching to 24 volts? Is the installation safer in 24 volts? Or is it better to buy 24-volt batteries right away? Are they more expensive? How do you connect them? And so on. You'll see that it's much simpler than some might think. First, let's go over why it can be a good idea to install a 24-volt electrical system for those who may have missed its advantages. Be careful. By the end of this video, you might want to change voltage. Before we get started, you'll find our electrical diagram pack in the video description. Also, consider subscribing to the channel, give a little like, and feel free to ask your questions in the comments. So, let's start by putting things into context. It's true, why am I suddenly talking to you about a 24-volt setup? Because with 24 volts for the same power, the current is divided by 2 compared to a 12-volt system. This has several very practical advantages. First, it reduces losses due to the Joule effect, because those losses are proportional to the square of the current. Less current means less heat dissipated, which means more energy actually used. Then, it allows you to use smaller cross-section cables, which are cheaper, lighter, and easier to install, especially when you need to run several meters between the solar panels, the batteries, the inverter, and so on. Finally, lower current also means less heating in connectors, fuses, and charge controllers, which improves the overall safety of the system and increases the lifespan of the components. Today, it's easier to use 3,000-watt voltage converters, thanks to the performance of lithium batteries. With 12 volts, in order to keep cable sizes reasonable, all these high-power devices need to be installed very close to each other, and you're dealing with very high current. Just doubling the voltage cuts the current in half, and that's far from negligible. Before talking about batteries and charging devices, I'd like to take the example of a 3,000-watt inverter in 12 volts versus 24 volts. It's simple. In 12 volts, with a power output of 3,000 watts and a conversion loss of around 10%, you're actually drawing about 3,300 watts from the battery. 3,300 divided by 12 equals 275 amperes, and ideally, you should allow for a safety margin. So you're easily going over 300 amperes in practice. This not only requires very thick and/or very short cables, but also a battery management system capable of handling that current, which isn't always easy. In most cases, with 12 volts, you need at least 2 batteries in parallel, each with a battery management system rated between 150 and 200 amperes. That's why many people choose 12-volt 200 ampere-hour batteries with a 200 ampere battery management system, which are more expensive and take up more space. Whereas with 24 volts, two 12-volt 150 ampere-hour batteries connected in series are enough to power a 3,000-watt inverter. When you connect two 12-volt 150 ampere-hour batteries in series, you get a 24-volt 150 ampere-hour battery, and the energy capacity becomes 24 volts times 150 ampere-hours equals 3,600 watt-hours, which is exactly the same as connecting them in parallel. And this battery is capable of continuously delivering 3,600 watts. The result, you sometimes save on batteries. That's not always the case, it depends on the setup. But when it comes to cables, the savings are guaranteed, as well as on fuses to some extent. And most importantly, you get an installation with less heat loss and increased safety. Let's now talk about 24-volt battery chargers, because many people have questions about the compatibility of their setup. We'll start with the MPPT charge controller, using a classic model from Victron. Let's take the example of the Smart Solar 100 volts 30 amperes. This model automatically detects whether you are using 12 volts or 24 volts, so there is no risk of making a mistake during installation. What's interesting is to see the difference in power it can handle depending on the battery voltage. In 12 volts, the MPPT can handle up to 440 watts of solar panels, whereas in 24 volts, this same controller can accept 880 watts, double the amount. So when switching your system to 24 volts, you make full use of your controller without changing the model. And most importantly, you can double your solar power without needing a more expensive charge controller. In practice, this means that for systems starting at around 700 or 800 watts of solar panels, switching to 24 volts makes much more sense. You can stick with an affordable MPPT controller and delay the need to invest in a more powerful model. As for charging via the alternator, Victron recently released the Orion XS range, and the 1400 model is particularly interesting for 24-volt systems. This DC to DC charger can accept an input voltage ranging from 9 to 35 volts, which makes it compatible with both 12-volt and 24-volt alternators. It delivers an adjustable output voltage between 10 and 35 volts, which allows you to charge a 12-volt or 24-volt lithium battery without any issues, while respecting its charging curves. The continuous power output is 1,400 watts, which is more than enough to quickly recharge a large 24-volt battery while driving. After that, it depends on what your alternator can provide, but you'll most likely be below this limit on a van or a medium-sized camper van. On top of that, this model is very efficient, with an efficiency rate of 98.5%, and it consumes almost nothing when idle. If you already have this model on a 12-volt setup and later switch to 24 volts, you won't have to change anything. Just like with the MPPT mentioned earlier. When it comes to equipment, again, it's easy. Today, you can find all 12-volt equipment in 24-volt versions as well, especially in the world of heavy trucks, boating, and solar installations. For everything related to lighting, many LED strips and spotlights are available directly in 12 volts or 24 volts, or work with a wide voltage range. Compression coolers or 12-volt and 24-volt fridges are also very common. They automatically adapt to the voltage and often consume less in 24 volts thanks to the lower current. With 24 volts, there are very few constraints. The electrical diagram remains the same. People sometimes ask me for a wiring diagram for a 24-volt installation, but it's identical in terms of cabling. There's really no need to make things more complicated than they actually are. When it comes to batteries, personally, I prefer to buy a 24-volt battery in 100 ampere hours or 200 ampere hours. However, be careful with the current on 100 ampere battery management systems, even at 24 volts. Sometimes it's a bit limited depending on the maximum power that your system might require. In reality, the range of lithium batteries available in 12 volts is so wide, and connecting them in series is much simpler than in parallel, that there really isn't one solution better than another. It all depends on the specific case. To sum up, make sure all your equipment is compatible with this voltage. Then the rest, cables and fuses, is calculated accordingly, just like always.